A Softek IT Consult.
Hello everyone, welcome to A Softek IT Consult. In today's episode or in today's video, we are going to tackle this question on vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. Yes, more often you hear about hacking, exploitation, vulnerabilities, and blah blah blah. But in today's video, we are going to see how to exploit a system using a vulnerability or using an exploit, okay, that is already discovered. And let's see if it is that easy, if it is possible. We are yet to know. But I know sometimes you hear of hacking, it is as that simple to really listen or hear the word. But truth is, I should just be realistic. It is not really easy to really enter or get into a system. Okay, it takes time, it takes persistency, it takes it takes a lot perseverance to really sit up and then investigate, research, and then come back this. But without wasting much time, let's get started. So today's question is, we are performing vulnerability testing on a target device, either Windows, it is 8.1. Okay, yes, there is nothing like 8.2, it is 8.1 and above. And Linux, it shouldn't be exploitable. Linux version, what they mean is they don't want you to use what they call metasploitable. Okay, metasploitable is a vulnerable Linux, okay, which has a lot of vulnerabilities which can be easily exploited. Or you should also use Android or Mac OS. And then you should identify the vulnerability, and then you should search the exploit to exploit this particular vulnerability. And then you should document the entire process. Also, the documentation show proof of exploitation, such as screenshots of the target machine, desktop, webcam, etc. And then provide recommendations. So this is what we are going to do. This is a final year advanced assignment. I should say, yes, that this is not an assignment given to just basic people. This is going to really test your knowledge when it comes to Linux system, when it comes to vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, when it comes to just system and enumeration, and then the hacking processes. But let's see if we can be able to achieve this. All right, so I'm going to open my VMs. Let's get to my VMs. So as you can see, I've installed a lot more VMs right here. Right, testing this particular assignment, it has taken me about some good hours, but let's see if we are still going to achieve this. All right, so I'm going to turn on my Kali Linux. Yes, as I always, that is going to be the attacker's machine, right? And I'm going to turn on. I'm going to try Windows 10, right? I'm going to try one Windows 10, okay, because it mentioned Windows 8.1 and above. And I'm going to try another Windows 8. Yes, let me take Windows 8 from here, okay, and then I'm going to take a Linux, right? The Linux here, I'm going to use Ubuntu as the Linux. Okay, so I'm turning on 4 systems, okay, all at once. Let me just drop this particular view off so that we have a full screen. Yeah, so I have Kali Linux right here. Let me log in. All right, so I'm in, and then the Windows, I'm also in, and then the Windows 8, I'm also in the Windows 8, and then the Ubuntu. Let me see. That is loading. That is loading. Okay, so whilst we are all on, okay, yes, we are working in a VM environment, so it means that we should always be on the same network. So let's check. Let's confirm whether we're on the same network. Okay, so CMD. Let me zoom in this one so that you can see. Okay, so IP config. Yeah, so look at this. see the IP address, that is what? 192.168.93, right? That is the network. So let's check on the Windows 8 whether we're on the same network. Let me zoom in as well for you to see on this. The font, okay, 16, no, 18, no. I think this is also the last one. Mm, Layout. I think that is how it is going to be. Let me see. Okay, let me try this one. Oh no, this one is really real bad. What about 16, 10? No, I think this is it. This is the actual one. Okay, so we have to just manage, right? So IP config right here, and you can see that. Sorry, you can see that on this one we have 192.168.93, right? So the network is what is correct. Is correct. All right. So let's go check our Ubuntu. Okay, that's on. So I open the terminal. All right. So I have config. Oh, it says what? Net tools hadn't been what configured. That's unfortunate. Okay. Sudo apt. Okay. Install net tools. All right. That way. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I think it's installed. So let me clear the screen. Let me even open this big for you to see. Yeah. So I have config. Yes. So look at this one. This is the IP address 192.168.93, which means that we're on the same network. Okay, and then yeah, this is also on the same network. So we're on the same network, right? Okay, so we are going to test them one by one. Let me open my Kali. I'm going to open my root terminal. This way, yes, full screen. So yes, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, um since we have what Windows 10, Windows 8, Ubuntu, all of them, we are going to start with the Windows 10 since it is just before us, right? So I'm going to what to use Nmap because I have to do what scanning or reconnaissance, okay? But this is going to be what passive, right? So Nmap, I'm going to use the flag that is what that is OS detection, okay? This is what aggressive, a little bit of aggressive scan. And this is what? Verbose. Okay. Yes. Placing what? Verbose in here. And then the IP address. I think the IP address we saw in here. Let me copy this IP address. And then I'm going to want to put it here. So yeah, so let's scan the Windows what? Windows 10. Let's see what happens. Can you see that Can you see that we have what? Discovered open ports 445.139.135.5357. Okay, so it means that we even have SMB. We have what? SMB open. So we have much more information. We can tell this is what Windows 10 Pro 14392, right? Windows 10 Pro, right? This is the computer name. Okay, and then some information. We have SMB right here. Okay, so we even have what? The services, right? So 135, okay, Microsoft Word, RPC, we have net values for 139, 445 for what? For SMB, we have what? 5357, okay, that is also HTTP. Right. So since we know one, okay, we can go out and then find for exploits for these services, right? But I would like us to really tackle SMB. Okay, that is what server message block. It helps us to communicate. As I said, TCP, you need what? Two connections. So since we have that, right? Yes, we are going to go out there and then look for what? Um we are going to look for what? SMB exploit, right? SMB exploit for Windows. But I don't want to be here. So, we have one, which is called, let me open full screen for you to see. So we have what? Microsoft Windows 10, okay, 1903, 1909, Eternal Blue, SMB, and then blah blah. So you can just what? Download any of them, but we now know that the MS-17, that is, it came around 2017. That's fine. But I'm going to use the what? The Metasploit. Okay, Metasploit is what? Is a post-exploitation framework, which is used in what? In performing every stage in what? In hacking. Okay, there's a very huge and then large environment. We can perform everything right there. We'll find the exploit inside. Okay, since it has already been discovered, so we can find that particular exploit inside. So let's see whether we are going to find that particular exploit in Metasploit. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to take this full screen stretched. Sorry about that. I just want to just stretch the screen and yes, like that. Okay, so here, since we have this, so I'm going to search. Okay, we realize that the name was what? Was MS-17. If you remember, it was MS-17 something something blah blah. Let's see whether we'll find that. It is MS what? MS-17 dot zero dash 010, right? MS-17 dash 010. We're going to search. You see, we have what? A lot of them. But let's see if we can find the one that has what? Eternal Blue. Look at this. MS-17 Eternal Blue, right? And then we also have another one, Eternal Blue. This is what? Windows SP to Windows 10. Okay, so let's try this. Let's see the target. We have what? Windows 7. Okay, we have Windows 7 Standard, 2008 R2, Windows 10 Pro, Enterprise. Okay, and then yes, so I think we can try this one. There's also another one which has a lot of windows. Right. Yeah, so I'm going to use what? This particular one. Okay. So here I'm going to type what? Use what? 0. The reason why I type use 0 is that you can see that there is 0 right here. So use 0. Might it shows red, which means that what? That's selected. So I'm going to write what? Options to see how we can configure this. Okay, this is our host, which means the remote host. Remember that our remote host, okay, is this Windows 10, right? So I'm going to say what? Set our host, okay, 192 dot what? 168 dot 93 dot. Let's check the IP again here. Okay, you can see it was 147. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, so that is set. So let's see again whether it is set truly. Yeah, so this is it, right? Okay, so this is the port that we are targeting. SMB port 445, right? Yes, and then I think you're going to leave this as automatic. It is going to detect the what? This one for us. Okay, remember the payload that we are using has been generated already, so we don't have to do anything. So I'm going to just say what? Let's exploit the system. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it says that let's see, let's read what it is saying. Yes, so it says that started reverse TCP handler. Okay, uh, error connection reset. Okay, and then it went on to say that what? exploit completed, but no session was created. This exploit does not support this build. Okay, so meaning the exploit some way somehow wanted to work, but wasn't working. All right, then I'm going to go back. Okay, meaning this particular Windows didn't really work with the exploit, even though the system is vulnerable. Look at this. Look at this. It shows that the system is vulnerable. If you should read this, it says that the target OS was this, and then it says that host is likely vulnerable, right? But it doesn't support this particular build, which means there should be another exploit that is going to work. Okay, then let me take this Windows 8. Okay, the IP address is 140. Let me get back on this. So I'm going to change the set R host because I'm still there. Okay, to 192.168.93.4. What was the IP address for the Windows 8? That was 140. Okay, 140. So 140 here. Alright, so options again. I check 140 has been set. SMB, okay, 445. Let's also exploit this and let's see what's happening. This one also says for started reverse TCP handler. Okay, host is also likely vulnerable. And this one says the target is vulnerable. Shell code size is 1283 and then num as 12. Target OS is Windows 8.2. So you see, this particular exploit, okay, is able to even detect the actual Windows and then the version that you are using. But let's see the end result. We are still waiting for it to finish Um, it is exploitation to see whether we can get access or we can get a shell. Let's see. Okay, still waiting. Okay, so this one says exploit completed, but no session. Okay, even though this one didn't say this particular build has an issue, it has really worked its way out, but it wasn't still working. Okay, yes, it wasn't still working. Okay, well, I'm going to try another Windows 10. Okay, since we are working, I'm going to try another Windows 10. So let's see. Here. Oh no no no, not this. Yeah, I'm going to try another Windows 10. Right. Pardon me. Let's try another Windows 10. Maybe probably think there's another Windows 10 somewhere. Let's try this so that you really understand what we are really doing. Running some updates. So these are things that I'm going to explain to you. This thing that is happening. Okay, why some of the things are really not working. Okay, so let's go on. And I think it's good for you when you are making documentation. So the Windows 10 is is in. So let's check the IP address of this particular Windows 10. Okay, so for this as well, yes, I'm going to increase the font to 20. Oh, 20. Okay. So IP config. So this one has what? Yeah, the same IP address because on the same network. So I get here. I'm going to set the what? The R host 145 like this. And then let me see whether it is set up. You can see, yes, it is set up 445, right? Yes. And then let me also run this particular exploit on this one. Let's see what happens. Can you see what this one actually said? Just look at this. It says that started reverse TCP on blah 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 blah, but host does not appear vulnerable. Okay, the target is not vulnerable. That is what this one is saying. Okay, so you can tell we've worked on what? Windows 7, we've worked on Windows 8.1, Windows 10. We've worked on two Windows 10s. All right. So this is my take, okay, on this. I'm going to explain my take on the what? On the Windows 10. This particular new one. Did you realize when I turned this one on, it started running some updates? Let me show you something. Did you realize it started running some update? When I go to what? Update right here. Yes, this particular update. It has run some particular update, and then it has blocked the particular exploit from running. So we say the system has been patched. So that is what happens. So you can tell that the system that I'm using, most of them, when you turn them on, sometimes it may be running updates behind the scene. So the exploit has been patched. This is something that has been patched by Microsoft Windows. Remember, Microsoft Windows sends updates every Tuesday within, I think, is it every month or every 2 months or so? Every Tuesday, they send what? New update. Before, I don't know for now if they are still doing that. Okay. So when they get what? When they realize there is what? There is a backdoor on their systems or there is something that is unpatched that is giving what? Access or remote code execution, they patch. You realize when I turn this on, it started running an update, which means when I run anything on it, it won't. But if I try what? Taking some of these updates, you realize it may somehow go and work. What about this particular one? Okay, Windows 8. Yes, as I said, Windows 8 was like the system is vulnerable, blah blah blah. But since it is connected to what internet, who knows? It may also be running what some kind of update that I may not even know. But let me see whether there is any update that has been installed. Yes, you could tell, okay, that there are updates that has been installed. So will not be working. So that should tell you how difficult is it is to really go around around system. It's not that easy. It's not easy as what as being said. Okay, so what about this Windows 10? This Windows 10, okay, was also doing us or giving us same story. So let's see this particular Windows 10. Let's see from this Windows 10. Also, we have some updates being run in here. Okay, so that's cool, but it even said this particular Windows. Okay, the build wasn't really what helpful. Let me check the build. Okay, the build is what 14393. Okay, so working with exploit or searching for exploit, you may search, but it is really going to what really you have to do a lot of really hard work. You should have resiliency. Okay, if you are really what you are, sometimes people even spend 1 year on working to just exploit a particular systems. Okay, sometimes you realize you hear of bug bounty. Okay, it's not really an easy task. You have to start from somewhere. You have to really go, you push further. So it's a whole lot of investigation before you can really arrive. Okay, yes, I'm not going to go further, do a lot of things. So once you've tested the Windows systems, you realize that there are some few things, and I've given you why some of these things were not working. Now, I'm going to turn them off. I'm going to turn the Windows 10s off. Okay, I'm going to turn the Windows 10 off. This one is also going to go off.
Yo,
Yeah, hello.
good man. I beg. I want you to lock the keys in.
The what?
Please, I don't wish and lock. my PC inside so that you do the listing for me.
But you've finished installing the other name.
So now, yeah, I'm done.
You're,
I'm done installing.
you're done downloading the IntelliJ2 as well.
Yes, all that.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
So
Okay. And then we turn off this particular Windows 8.1 Pro as well. Okay, so I've taken it off. So now let's hop into the Ubuntu. Okay, so we have only the Ubuntu and then the Linux right from here. Okay, I got logged out. So I log in. I'm going to exit this one. Okay, I'm going to clear off this particular one. Okay, so since we've closed all of our Windows PCs, and let's move on to our Linux or the Ubuntu as well. Let's try this particular one. All right, so we check the IP address, realize the IP address was this. Okay, so let's get back to the Linux. Let us scan this particular one as well, the same thing, but we are going to only change the IP address. The IP address is 152. So let's get back. We make here 152. Okay. So what are our discoveries? We can find out that we have what? We have open port 139.22.445. So we have SSH, we have SMB, and then we have what? 139 as well. Okay. Yes. And then we have much more information. Okay. This is SMB2 security mode. Okay. And then we have let me see. Yes, we have an information on what? On the SMB2, and then we have the OS is Linux, okay, kernel 4, right? And then what again? We have the MAC address right here, okay, and then we have what? SMB, which is using what? Samba, right? Samba, SMBD4, and we have NetBIOS, okay, yes, and then what again? SSH, OpenSSH, that is for 22. OpenSSH 8.2, okay, Ubuntu, right? So we have much information. We can find for exploit for OpenSSH. We can find for exploit for SMB. We can find for exploit for 139 as well. Okay, but since we've realized that there is SSH, okay, I'd like us to look at this. Let's brute force SSH and then let's see. Okay, so all right, SSH. Let's try root. Okay, because that is the highest privilege on any machine. 192.168.93.152. Okay, it says password. Let me assume I'm entering any password. Okay, let's see. Okay, password denied. Let me try another password. Still same. Okay, then I'm going to use a tool. Okay, a tool we call a tool we call okay Hydra, right? So we are going to use this to brute force the credentials. Let's try. Okay, so I write what? Hydra. Okay, and then the login. Okay, so I write Hydra and then the login, and we are going to log in as root, and then we are going to use this password list. All right, I have a password list. Okay, that's in every Linux, and then we go to share. Oh, sorry. And then we go to word list, and then I think we have what? It is Rocky test. It is Rocky U. Yes, or it's Rocky .tst. If I'm let me see. Yes, and then I'm going to enter SSH, and then enter into this like an address. Let me see whether this is going to work like an address. and then the IP address 192.168.93.152. Let's see whether we can brute force. So something happened. I think yes. Let me see. Yes, it is this one. It should be what? SSH. Okay. So let me get back here. And I'm going to what? To put colon here. So I run it again. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we've been able to brute force. So this one says SSH, this is the host. The login is what? Root, that is the user, and the password is this. Okay, then if that's the case, let's get back to SSH and then let's see. SSH, okay, root this. Let brute force, it says what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me enter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. Okay, it says I should try again. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, we are in. We're in the system. So let's see. System info. Okay, no cause for alarm, but we are in the system. Just look at this. Okay, so I'll go to the root. Okay, let's see. This is it. Let me go to home. Yes. And then I'm sure you see Sam. Look at this Sam. Look at Sam. Yes. So let's go to Sam. Let's go to desktop. So this should be capital letter. Yes, let's look at desktop. There is nothing on desktop. Let me see. Is anything on our desktop? Going back. Let me see. Okay, only the let me create a file or a folder. Okay, here. Alright, just here. That's where I will find it. We'll find it on ls again. Okay, so this is it. So meaning we are in the system. Yes, we've compromised the system. Right? Yes, we use what? Hydra to what? To exploit the port 22 SSH, and now we are in the system. So let's add another extra thing to this. Okay, let's exploit the SMB. Realize that we had also SMB at a port 445. Okay, so in exploiting SMB, okay, I'd like us to use this SMB client. Okay, SMB client. Okay, let me SMB client. Let's try this SMB client, and then let's see whether this is going to work. The IP address 192.168.93.152. Okay, and then we are going to go into the network side, and then no login. Oh, sorry. I think we should do this outside of the shell. Okay, so let's exit the shell, the connection. Let's exit. We should do this right here. Yes, let's see whether it works. Yes, this also works. It worked. So look at SMB. SMB is working. We are logged in as SMB. Yeah, this is no login. So meaning the SMB, okay, also has an exploit. All right, let me see what is on. We have nothing. So here we can use file sharing. We can upload something. We can upload a file in here. All right, and then yes. So assuming I want to create something. Let me say I want to create MSF Venom. Let me see whether it even comes. I'm just assuming. Let me assume whether MSF console can even open here, because we are on the what? We are on the SMB shell. I'm not sure this is going to work. Yes, it's not going to. So these are SMB directory. There is nothing in here. So I can create a file, a folder. Okay, SMB and an SMB folder. All right. Good evening. And then STS. So you can see I have SMB folder. So I can what? Upload set something in it and I can what? So we've been able to exploit the Ubuntu system. But if you want more, we can go on further and exploit a web application on this particular system. Okay, so without doing much, okay, I'd like us to end this session. I'm going to also go and then do an advanced video. Okay, in our next session, we are going to exploit a web application on the same Ubuntu that we've been able to exploit. So this brings us to the end of this video. Okay, until we meet again, please don't go yet. Don't go yet. Turn on the notification bell by subscribing to our channel, like this video, and then leave a comment. Any issue that you are facing, any kind of thing that you think you feel, or anything that is not really working, please drop them in the comment section. I'm going to respond to this and then respond to all of the comment. Until we meet again, bye for now.
For more information and also to reach us, please contact the numbers on the screen. You can also reach us through our social media handles displayed on the screen. Please do like, follow, and subscribe to our social media handles. A Softek IT Consult. Innovative solutions with the difference.